I thought my life was perfect. Every morning, Layla would make me coffee just the way I liked it, strong, with a hint of cinnamon. "Good morning, love," she'd say, smiling that way that made me forget every bad thought in the world. I'd grin, thinking I'm the luckiest man alive. "Don't forget your meeting today," she reminded me one Thursday. I kissed her cheek. "Thanks. I've got it under control." She laughed softly. "You always think you do." It was a routine, but I loved it. I loved her. Even when she stayed out late with her friends or took work calls I never questioned, I trusted her completely. I told Armand about it once over beers. "Man, sometimes I feel like she's hiding something," Armand said, swirling his drink. "I'm not saying she's cheating," but I waved him off. "Armand, you worry too much. Layla isn't like that. She's everything to me. You've been saying that since you married her. Just be careful. Blind trust is a dangerous thing." I laughed, thinking he was paranoid. I didn't see the warning signs, or maybe I refused to. That night, Layla said she was going to bed early. I stayed in the living room, scrolling on my phone, just relaxing. Then curiosity hit me. I picked up her phone. It was unlocked, as it always was. She wouldn't mind, I told myself. I froze. My heart hammered in my chest. A message popped up on her screen. "Can't wait to see you tonight. I miss you." From a name I didn't recognize, my stomach dropped. "It's nothing," I told myself. "Maybe a friend." Then more messages appeared, each one more intimate than the last. I read one that made my hands shake. "Layla, I can't stop thinking about you. Last night was incredible." I swallowed hard. I couldn't breathe. My world, my perfect life, felt like it had been shattered with a single stroke. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run. I wanted to wake up and find it was a nightmare. The next morning, I couldn't keep it inside. I had to talk to Armand. I met him at the cafe near our office. He looked at me instantly and said, "You found out, didn't you?" I nodded silently, my coffee untouched. It's true. "I knew something was off," he said, his voice calm but sharp. "Do you want me to tell you what to do?" "What can I do?" She's my wife." My voice cracked. "I love her." "I can't believe how could she? She's betraying you," he said bluntly. "It doesn't matter how much you love her. Right now, you need to think, not react." I buried my face in my hands. I can't understand. We were happy. She laughed. She kissed me. Everything was real. Armand leaned forward, his tone softening. "Nothing about betrayal feels real until it happens. Trust me, you're not alone in this." I nodded numbly, but a part of me couldn't stop wondering. Was it ever real? When I got home, Layla greeted me with a smile that now made me nauseous. "Hi, darling," she said, brushing past me in the kitchen. "You look tired." "Long day?" "Yeah," I muttered. My hands shook slightly. I couldn't let her see that I knew. You stayed out late last night?" "Oh, just a few errands," she said casually, avoiding my eyes. "Nothing important." I wanted to grab her, shake her, demand answers. But I didn't. I just nodded, pretending I didn't know, pretending I could breathe. Later, I sat alone in our bedroom, staring at the ceiling. I pulled her phone from the drawer where she always left it charging. Another message lit up my screen. "I can't wait until we're alone again. I need you." My hands dropped to my lap. I felt hollow. I felt betrayed. I felt my love, my devotion, every ounce of trust, slipping away like sand through my fingers. And yet, a tiny, furious spark flickered in me. If she thinks she can break me, she's wrong. That night, I didn't sleep. I lay awake thinking, replaying every laugh, every kiss, every whispered "I love you." It's fair, every memory now poisoned. I had always believed in Layla, in us. Now, I wasn't sure what to believe in at all. I couldn't wait another second. I found her in the kitchen, humming, making coffee. She looked up and smiled. That smile, once comforting now, made me sick. "Layla, we need to talk," I said, my voice trembling. She raised an eyebrow. "Oh, about what?" I gritted my teeth. "Don't play dumb." I saw the messages. Every single one, she laughed. That airy, careless laugh that cut me deeper than any slap. Messages. Which ones? You mean the harmless chats? Don't overreact, love. It's just fun. Fun? I echoed, my voice rising. Fun? You're telling me this is fun flirting, sending those things to him? She shrugged, unbothered. Relax, you're taking this too seriously. We all need a little excitement, don't we? I felt my chest tighten. Excitement? You betrayed me. You lied. You. I didn't lie, she interrupted, tilting her head. I didn't say anything to you. I didn't cheat. Stop dramatizing everything. Don't you dare tell me what's dramatic. I shouted, my hands trembling. I saw the messages, Layla. I read them. You wrote things you only say in private to someone you care about, and it's not me. She sighed, crossing her arms. You're imagining things. You're overthinking. You've always been too sensitive. Too sensitive? I echoed bitterly. Do you know what it feels like to find out your wife is sharing herself emotionally intimately with another man? Do you? Her eyes flicked away for a fraction of a second. I caught it. So you are guilty? I pressed. I don't see why you're making this a big deal, she said, returning to her coffee. It doesn't mean anything. It's harmless. I felt my knees weaken. Harmless? Do you know what you've done to me? Everything we built lies. Every laugh, every kiss, every night we spent together, my voice cracked. Was it all fake? She tilted her head, almost mocking. Stop. You're being ridiculous. Couldn't take it. I left, running to Armin's place without thinking. I needed someone to hear me, to make sense of the chaos inside me. He opened the door, instantly seeing my face. You look like hell, he said, pulling me inside. I confronted her. I said, collapsing onto his couch. She laughed at me, Armin. She laughed and said, it's just fun. Sat next to me, sighing. I told you something was off. Now you know? So, what are you going to do? I don't know, I admitted. I feel like my whole life is crumbling. I keep seeing things. Little things I ignored before those secret calls. The sudden work trips, her mood swings. That's because she was hiding things, he said softly. You trusted her completely. That doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. But you have to protect yourself now. You can't just leave her, I whispered. I love her. Or I thought I did. Maybe I still do. And maybe I want her to regret it. I don't even know what I want anymore. You want justice? Armin said firmly. And you also want to survive this heartbreak. Both are valid. But you can't cling to someone who's tearing you apart. I ran my hands through my hair. I keep going over our memories, Armand. Every kiss, every hug, it's all tainted now. How can I unsee it? How can I trust anyone again? You'll heal, he said quietly. But you have to stop pretending it's okay. Accept the truth first. Then you decide what to do next. Right now, it's chaos. And chaos doesn't allow easy answers. I nodded, though it didn't feel like I was moving forward. I thought about going home, about seeing Layla again, about the face that once made me whole and now made me sick. When I finally walked in, she was sitting on the couch, scrolling her phone. You're home late, she said casually. I stared at her, my voice low. Do you even understand what you've done to me? I think you're blowing things out of proportion, she said lightly, avoiding my eyes. I felt a sudden, raw surge of anger. You don't get it? You don't. Every lie, every smile that hid this betrayal, let's all poison now. You've taken everything from me? She finally looked up, her expression softening slightly, but it wasn't regret. I didn't take anything. You're choosing to be hurt. It's your choice. I couldn't speak. I could barely breathe. My heart was raw, torn in two. Bleeding over something I didn't want to admit, still loved her. Even as she shattered me, I sank into the chair, staring at the floor. I didn't know if I wanted revenge, forgiveness, or escape. All I knew was that nothing would ever feel safe again. I couldn't stop thinking about her Lala. Every laugh, every touch, every lie replayed in my mind, sharper than knives. I paced around my apartment, muttering to myself. I can't just let this go. I can't. Armand's words echoed. You need to survive this. Protect yourself. But surviving felt empty without justice. I wanted more than to leave her. I wanted her to feel the weight of what she had done. I sank onto the couch, running my hands over my face. But how? I whispered. I can't confront her without looking weak. I can't yell, I can't beg, I can't let her see me break completely. I grabbed her phone from the table. Not to read more messages, no. I couldn't risk spiraling further, but to remember every detail. And then, accidentally, I saw Riaz's name in a thread I hadn't noticed. Something inside me stiffened. Riaz, I muttered. The man she's seeing married. My mind raced. I quickly searched his social media. Sure enough, pictures of him with a smiling woman, Aisha. My chest tightened. The man playing with my wife's heart had a family of his own. I leaned back, running a hand over my forehead. Maybe this isn't just about revenge. Maybe this is about justice. I pictured Aisha, gentle, kind, trusting, probably completely blind to what her husband was doing. I could see it, her walking into their home, believing in his love. And I could feel the betrayal in my own chest, so I knew how it would hit her. I can't lie to her, I said aloud. I can't manipulate her entirely, but I can show her the truth carefully. She deserves to know what's really happening. She deserves to see what love looks like compared to this. My hand tightened into a fist. Compared to lies and lust? I spent the next hour planning. I had to be meticulous. I couldn't risk exposure, and I couldn't let my emotions ruin it. I scribbled notes, casual meeting hints dropped, no outright accusations, just the truth, shown step by step. Armand called. Still plotting your revenge? His tone was teasing but sharp. I think it's more than revenge, I said, pacing. It's justice. Riaz is married. Aisha deserves to know. I want to show her loyalty, real love, everything I gave Layla that she threw away. We're playing a dangerous game, he warned. You can't predict how she'll react, or how Aisha will react. And Layla, she noticed something eventually. I know, I said. That's why I'll be careful. I won't let her see me. I won't let my emotions control this. I have to stay detached. Armand was silent for a moment. You've changed, he said finally. I barely recognized the man who trusted everything so blindly. I can't go back, I admitted. Not after this. I can't pretend I didn't see what I saw. I can't pretend she didn't betray me. I have to do something, even if it's messy. I hung up and stared at the ceiling. The plan felt right and wrong at the same time. Helping Aisha meant exposing Riaz, yes, but it also meant manipulating the situation for my own satisfaction. I swallowed hard. Am I helping her, or am I using her? The thought made my stomach turn, but I shook my head. I can't think like that, I muttered. I have to focus on the truth. Show her, not tell her. Let her realize it herself. She'll understand better if she sees it. I made a mental list of the first steps. Find out Aisha's routine. Befriend her casually. Offer support. Drop hints of Riaz's betrayal without mentioning Layla immediately. She needed to trust me before the truth would matter. I grabbed a notebook and began mapping everything, times. Locations, potential conversations, signs she might notice. My pulse raced, but my mind felt steady. For the first time since discovering the messages, I felt in control. Still, doubt lingered. I'm walking a fine line, I whispered. I can't let my hatred become obvious. I can't let her see that I'm taking revenge. She must believe it's coincidence, guidance, support, not manipulation. Hours passed and the apartment grew dark. I looked around at the quiet, empty space that had once felt like home. Now it felt like a stage for my planet chessboard, and everyone a piece. I clenched my jaw. I can do this, I said aloud. I have to. For her. For myself. For justice. Finally, I sat back, exhausted but determined. I knew the first encounter with Aisha would be critical. One wrong word, one visible emotion, and everything could collapse. But I had to try. If I can show her what real love and loyalty look like, I thought, Then maybe this world won't feel so broken after all. And with that, I began preparing, every thought calculated, every step deliberate. The plan had begun, and there was no turning back. I watched Aisha from across the cafe, pretending to scroll on my phone. She didn't notice me at first, her hands wrapped around her teacup, her eyes distant. I took a deep breath and walked over. "Hi, mind if I join you?" I asked, trying for casual. She looked up, startled. "Oh, sure. I don't mind," sat down, forcing a smile. "I'm Armand's friend. Well, I've known him for a while. I thought we could talk for a bit. You know, just friendly chat." Aisha nodded slowly. "Okay, friendly chat sounds nice." We started with small talk. Work, family, weather. I laughed lightly, asked about her hobbies, never straying too close to the subject I needed. But inside, my mind was sharp, calculating. Every word, every expression counted. "So how long have you been married?" I asked carefully. She smiled softly. 10 years. It's been good." Her voice had warmth, but there was an undercurrent of fatigue, something unspoken. 10 years, that's impressive. You must really trust each other, I said, tilting my head, letting the words linger. She blinked. Trust? Yes, we trust each other. Her eyes flicked down, and I caught the slightest hesitation, a tiny crack in her perfect belief. I nodded, sipping my coffee. Sometimes, even when we trust, things can be hidden. Small things. Secrets we don't see. Her gaze lifted sharply. What do you mean? I leaned back slightly, keeping my tone gentle, careful. I don't mean anything personal, just that sometimes people we love can disappoint us without meaning to. Or maybe without realizing it. Aisha's hand trembled slightly. Disappoint? You mean cheating? I flinched internally, but I kept calm. Not exactly. Just betrayal in small forms. Emotional betrayal. It doesn't have to be obvious at first. It starts with little lies, little secrets. Her teacup shook as she held it. I can't imagine. My husband, I mean? He would never. Her voice broke slightly, and I bit the inside of my cheek. I know, I said softly. It's hard to accept. You think you know someone completely, and then things start to feel off. You notice patterns, hints, things that don't add up. She looked down, staring at the cup. I've felt that sometimes, but I always convinced myself I was imagining it. You're not imagining it, I said gently. When your gut tells you something, it's usually right. And when it comes to someone who's supposed to love you, ignoring it can be dangerous. Her eyes lifted slowly, searching mine. Are you saying this happened to someone you know? I smiled faintly. Someone close. I've seen it firsthand. It's painful to watch. And I wanted to warn others if I can. Aisha's lips pressed into a thin line, and I noticed her fingers tighten around the cup. I don't know what to say. Don't have to say anything, I said. Just pay attention to the signs. Trust your instincts. People sometimes hide who they really are. She nodded slowly, but her eyes were wide, a mix of confusion and dawning realization. I could see the pieces clicking together. Even if she wasn't fully ready to admit them. We talked for another half hour, carefully walking around the edges of the truth. Every sentence was chosen, every pause calculated. I could feel her tension, her disbelief, her quiet heartbreak forming. But I didn't push too hard. I needed her to discover it, not me to force it. Meanwhile at home, Layla began noticing my distance. She asked me why I was so cold, why I seemed distant, why I barely spoke. I smiled politely, avoided eye contact, and muttered excuses. Just tired, work stress, nothing to worry about. Her eyes narrowed. You're hiding something. Don't lie to me. I laughed softly, a hollow sound. I'm not lying, really. Just give me space. She didn't like it. I could see it. She tried harder calls, texts, subtle manipulation, but I didn't respond the way she expected. I could feel her frustration building. Storm I was safely observing from behind a wall of control. Back with Aisha, I ended the conversation on a friendly note. I'll let you think about this, okay? No pressure. Just take care of yourself, she nodded, her expression conflicted. Thank you, I think. I left heart pounding with adrenaline. My first move was done, and already I could feel the tension stretching taut in every direction. Layla suspicious, Aisha beginning to awaken, Sprayton moral caution, and the thrill of setting the stage for justice. This is only the beginning, I thought, stepping onto the street. And already nothing will ever be the same. I saw Aisha again the next morning at the park. She looked tired, her eyes shadowed. But there was a spark of determination I hadn't noticed before. Morning, said sitting down on the bench beside her. She nodded. Morning you came back? I thought I'd check in. See how you're doing. She took a deep breath. I need to talk to him, Riaz. I asked gently. She nodded, her hands clenching the strap of her bag. I can't keep ignoring the signs. I can't pretend I don't see things anymore. I leaned back, careful not to push. You don't have to confront him blindly. Start with what you know. Trust your instincts, but don't act out of anger. She gave me a small, grateful smile. I don't even know where to start. I feel betrayed, but I keep doubting myself. You're not imagining it, I said firmly. When something feels off, it usually is. And if he's hiding things, you deserve to know the truth. Later that day, I overheard Aisha at a cafe confronting Riaz, my pulse quickening. Riaz, we need to talk. She said, her voice shaking. What's wrong? He asked, pretending innocence, sipping his coffee casually. I know something's going on, she said, eyes blazing. I can't ignore it anymore. You've been hiding things from me. He laughed lightly, a nervous edge in it. Aisha, you're imagining it. You're overreacting. I'm not imagining it. She shouted, I've seen messages. I've noticed your calls. I've felt it. I watched from a corner, my hands tightening into fists. Her voice, her courage, it was satisfying to see her awakening to the truth. You're making a mistake, Ria said, his charm slipping. You don't know what you're talking about. I know enough. She yelled, enough to see the lies. Enough to know you've been betraying me. I could see him faltering, the arrogance cracking. It made a dark part of me smile. Justice didn't need to be perfect, just visible. Meanwhile, at home, Layla's suspicions grew. You're hiding something? She hissed as I returned late that evening. I can feel it. Who were you with? I shrugged, keeping my voice casual. Out. Just out. Don't lie to me. I know you're lying. Her voice rose, sharp and desperate. I'm not lying, Layla. I'm just busy, I said, remaining calm. Give me space. Gosh. She slammed the kitchen cabinet door. Space? You think space will fix this? You've changed. What are you doing, huh? Who are you seeing? I looked at her without flinching. I'm not seeing anyone. But you've done your part. You've already broken what we had. Her eyes flashed with anger and fear. I didn't do anything. You did, I said softly. Every secret, every lie, every betrayal. It's on you, she screamed, pacing. You can't do this to me. I ignored her, stepping back. I didn't need to shout. She was unraveling on her own. The next day, Aisha called me. Her voice was trembling but steadier than before. I confronted him. He denied everything, but I don't know. I think he's lying, but I need proof. You'll find it, I said, keeping my tone neutral. Just watch carefully. Don't let him manipulate your emotions. I never thought it would hurt this much. I thought I could trust him completely. I know, I said quietly. I've been there. You're allowed to feel betrayed. You're allowed to feel angry, but don't let it destroy you. Aisha's friends noticed the change in her too. You seem different, one of them said. Stronger, but sad. Are you okay? She nodded, eyes distant. I'm learning things I wish I didn't know. I could hear the unspoken words between them, the concern, the moral commentary. The contrast between her loyalty and Layla's deceit was becoming clear. Not just to me, but to everyone around her. By evening, I returned home, and Layla was waiting. Her eyes were wild, desperate. You think you can just ignore me? You think I won't find out what you're doing? I smiled faintly, calm and distant. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just choosing not to engage. It's better this way. She shook her head, tears mixing with rage. You can't just walk away from me. I won't let you. You already walked away, I said quietly. You walked away the day you betrayed me. She collapsed onto the couch, sobbing and trembling. For the first time, I saw fear and regret flicker across her face. Not guilt yet, not fully, but it was beginning. Meanwhile, I could feel Aisha slowly piecing together the truth, her heartbreak sharpening into clarity. And Layla? She was crumbling, desperate and angry, blind to the fact that karma had already begun its course. I sat silently, observing both worlds, the woman who betrayed and the woman who was betrayed in for the first time. I felt a measure of satisfaction. I whispered to myself, almost like a vow, this isn't over. But the lies, they're unraveling. I got the call from Aisha, just as I was leaving work. I can't do this alone, she said, her voice trembling but resolute. I need to confront him. I need to stand up. You ready? I said softly. I'll be here if you need me, but this has to come from you. You need to say it yourself. She took a deep breath. Okay, I can do this. Thank you for, guiding me. Just watch, listen, and trust your instincts. Don't let him twist your words. Later that evening, I stayed a distance away, watching as she entered their apartment. Rayas opened the door, smiling, unaware. Hey, love, he said casually. Everything okay? Aisha squared her shoulders. No, not okay. I know about everything. What are you talking about? He asked, frowning. Stop lying to me, Rayas. She shouted, her voice sharp and trembling. I know about your messages, your secret calls, your lies. I trusted you, and you betrayed me. He looked startled, then laughed nervously. You're imagining things? You're overreacting. I saw the messages, Rayas. I saw everything you've been hiding. I don't know why I ever trusted you blindly. Her parents were there too, called by Aisha before I arrived, and their presence added weight. Rayas, her father said, voice calm but firm. You've broken her trust. It's time you explain, he sputtered, stumbling over words. It's not what it looks like. It is exactly what it looks like. Aisha yelled, tears streaming. I can't believe I wasted years believing in you. How could you? I stayed back, letting the confrontation unfold. Watching Aisha stand tall despite heartbreak filled me with a satisfaction I didn't expect. Justice wasn't mine to deliver, it was fate unfolding naturally. Meanwhile, Layla's world at home was crumbling. You're ignoring me? She yelled when I returned that night. Her friends had called. Her lies were unraveling. She was furious. I'm not ignoring you, Layla, I said quietly. I'm just done pretending things are okay. They're not. What do you mean done pretending? She asked, pacing. Are you seeing someone? Don't lie to me. I shook my head. No, I'm just observing. You've done enough damage yourself. Her eyes narrowed. You think you can just walk away? You're mine. Don't forget it. I'm not yours anymore, I said calmly. Not after everything. Not after the betrayal, she screamed, then crumpled to the couch, sobbing. Her friends had started avoiding her, aware of her lies. Invitations stopped coming. People whispered. She was isolated, her social power gone, her manipulations backfiring. I watched quietly, sipping my tea. I didn't intervene. I didn't need to. The consequences were doing their work. Back with Aisha, she was slowly recovering. I never realized how much courage it would take, she said, when we met later in the park. I thought I could forgive him, maybe fix things, but now I see I deserve better. You do, I said gently. You've seen what loyalty looks like, and you've realized what you won't tolerate. That's strength. I feel free in a way, she said, smiling faintly. Even though it hurt like hell. Freedom always comes with pain, I said. But it also comes with clarity. Her friends and family noticed the change too. She's handling this with dignity, one of them told me. Most people would crumble, but she's different. I nodded, thinking about the contrast, Aisha standing strong, Rayas exposed, Layla unraveling. The world had a way of balancing itself. Later, Aisha and I shared a quiet moment on a park bench. "I don't know how to thank you," she said. "You don't have to," I replied. "I didn't do this for gratitude. I did it because it needed to be done. Because someone had to show you the truth." "Oh, I feel, supported," she said softly. "Even though it's not your problem, you were here for me. Because I know what it feels like," I said quietly. "To be betrayed by someone you trusted, to feel powerless and blind. You deserved a chance to see the truth, and now you have it." She smiled, and for a moment, the weight of her heartbreak lifted. It wasn't fully gone, but she was stronger now, ready to rebuild. Meanwhile, Layla's messages kept coming, desperate and manipulative. "Why are you doing this to me?" she texted. "I can change." "I swear I can," I didn't reply. I didn't need to. She had shown me who she was. It was clear I had no place in her chaos. Watching both women, seeing their journeys side by side, I felt a strange peace. Justice didn't need my hand. It only needed time. And Aisha's awakening reminded me that true loyalty, love, and strength weren't things to be taken lightly. "I think this is the start of something better," I whispered to myself, feeling the tension lift slightly. For her, for me, and for anyone who has ever been betrayed. I smiled faintly, knowing the tables had turned. The chaos was still present, but the power had shifted. Aisha was awakening, Layla was falling, and for the first time in months, I felt calm, knowing I had helped restore balance not through anger, but through patience and guidance. I hadn't seen Layla in a few days, and I wasn't planning to. But word reached me that her world was crumbling, her friends had stopped calling. Her colleagues avoided her, and whispers followed her everywhere. I stayed distant, observing from the sidelines, letting karma do what it had been quietly building. Then she called, her voice shaky, almost pleading. "Please, I need to talk to you. Just a few minutes." I hesitated, then agreed. "Fine, but this will be the last time." She met me at the cafe, her makeup smudged, her hair messy, eyes red from crying. She looked desperate, smaller than I remembered. "Why? Why are you like this?" she asked, voice trembling. "Why won't you just forgive me?" I studied her quietly, letting her speak, letting her unravel in front of me. "Layla, forgiveness isn't about what I want. It's about what's left after someone chooses betrayal over love." Her lips quivered. I didn't mean to hurt you." "I swear you didn't mean to." I interrupted gently, but firmly. "Do you realize what your didn't mean to has cost? Not just me, but your friends, your career, your respect." She swallowed hard, tears slipping down. I can fix it. I'll do anything. Just don't leave me like this." "I can't. I'm already gone," I said softly, leaning back in my chair. "I left the moment you chose lies over love. Everything else is your consequence, not mine." Her hand shook as she clutched the edge of the table. Please, I'll explain. I'll change. I need you." "You needed me," I said, calm now. "But need doesn't undo betrayal. Love doesn't survive lies. You don't get to choose the rules after you've broken them." Her lips parted, silent for a moment, then she whispered, I never thought it would end like this." "I did," I said quietly. "I always knew that actions have consequences. And you chose yours." She flinched, then asked, almost pleading, "What about everything we had? The memories?" I shook my head slowly. "Memories are just that. Memories. They don't bring back trust, and they don't erase the lies. You burned that bridge yourself." Her eyes filled with panic. "And Raya's. He still loves me, doesn't he?" I let a small, controlled smile cross my face. "Do you think he will?" "When Aisha stands tall, when the truth is in her hands. You can't cling to others when you've lost your own foundation." Her face drained of color, the realization hitting her. She pressed a hand to her chest. "No, it can't be like this." "It is," I said. "You've had a life built on manipulation, on charm, on fleeting satisfaction. But charm and lies don't protect you from reality. You've learned that too late." Tears streamed down her cheeks. "Please, I'll change. I'll beg, I'll apologize, I'll do anything. I raised a hand, cutting her off. You don't get to do anything anymore. You've done enough damage. This isn't about revenge. I'm not here to hurt you further. I'm here to leave, and I am leaving with my dignity intact. That's my closure. Her shoulders slumped, hopelessness sinking in. She finally understood the lust, the manipulation, the betrayal had cost her everything. You're really leaving me? She asked, her voice a whisper now. Yes, I said softly, and I'm not turning back. This is your lesson, Layla, not mine. She sat there, defeated, and for the first time, I saw her truly alone. Her social circle had abandoned her. Friends who once laughed at her jokes no longer answered her calls. Colleagues who admired her no longer smiled when she walked by. Her charm couldn't save her now. I stood up, straightened my jacket, and looked at her one last time. I hope someday you understand what loyalty means. Not just to others, but to yourself. Because without it, nothing else matters. Her lips quivered, and she nodded slightly. No words came, no pleas, just the hollow silence of realization. I walked out, feeling lighter than I had in months. Every step away was a reclaiming of my life, my control, my peace. Layla's screams, her tears, her frantic texts, they didn't matter anymore. I had regained my dignity without lifting a hand in anger. Fate, truth, and karma had done it all. Outside, the cool air hit my face, and I breathed deeply. I felt satisfied not with revenge, but with balance restored. I had acted with patience, with morality, and allowed consequences to unfold naturally. As I walked away, I thought of Aisha strong, awakened, ready to move forward. And I thought of myself. Freed from the illusion of a perfect life that never existed, my heart felt steady for the first time since the betrayal. I had lost someone I loved, but I had regained something far more important. My self-respect, my control, and my clarity. And in that quiet, simple victory, I smiled. The storm had passed. I sat on the balcony that evening, the city lights flickering below, and let myself breathe. It had been months since everything had fallen apart. Layla's betrayal, Riaz's exposure, Aisha's awakening, I had witnessed it all. I had survived it. Aisha's text buzzed on my phone. Coffee tomorrow. I want to share something with you. I smiled softly and typed back. Sure, same place. The next morning I met her at the cafe. She looked calmer, stronger, but her eyes still held traces of pain. I've been thinking, she said as we sat down, about what happened, about him, and about everything you helped me see. I don't think I would have faced it without you. You don't have to thank me, I replied, stirring my coffee. I wasn't there for gratitude. I just wanted to make sure someone had a chance to see the truth. She nodded. I do feel free in a way, but I also feel like I've learned a lot. About trust, about boundaries, about myself. Exactly, I said. Sometimes heartbreak isn't just pain. It's a teacher. It forces you to understand who you are and what you're willing to accept. She smiled faintly. I never thought betrayal could be clarifying, but it is. It hurts, but it's also revealing. I laughed softly. Revealing is the right word. I've learned the same. Layla destroyed what I thought was perfect, but in doing so, she forced me to rebuild, to find clarity in my own values. And what about you? How do you feel now? I paused, looking out at the skyline. Stronger.com. I've realized that emotional integrity matters more than obsession or revenge. I can't control others, only my reactions. That's the lesson I'm taking away. Seems like we both learned something, she said, eyes meeting mine. Not the easy way, but real. Yes, I agreed. Pain teaches better than comfort ever could. She chuckled lightly. I never imagined that betrayal could turn into growth. But here we are, I echoed. And you've come so far, Aisha, from confusion and hurt to clarity and strength. I'm proud of you. Her cheeks colored slightly, and she looked down. Thanks, that means a lot. Honestly, having someone who understood what betrayal feels like helped me more than I can say. Not romantic, not anything else. Just understanding. I get that, I said. We don't need romance to form a bond. Pain shared is enough, and healing shared is even better. We talked for hours, about life, about mistakes, about lessons learned. I realized that for the first time in months, I wasn't thinking about revenge or betrayal. I was just being present, listening, reflecting. Later, I walked her to the street. Take care of yourself, Aisha. Don't let anyone ever make you doubt your worth again. I won't, she said softly. And you promise me you'll protect your heart too? I will, I said, smiling. I've learned to value it more. Not to guard it with walls, but to nurture it wisely. She nodded, eyes bright with understanding. Wise. That's good advice. From someone who's seen the worst and survived? I watched her walk away and I realized how much had changed. I wasn't the same person who had discovered Layla's betrayal. I wasn't bitter or broken. I was cautious, yes, but I was also open to life, to learning, to trust rebuilt slowly. When I returned home, Layla's name didn't sting anymore. Her absence, her mistakes, and her downfall were no longer anchors dragging me down. They were lessons, reminders that some people's choices teach us. What we should never tolerate. I poured a cup of tea and sat in silence. Memories of the heartbreak, the anger, the quiet revenge lingered, but they didn't define me anymore. I felt a calm weight in my chest, a satisfaction rooted in morality, in patience, in letting justice unfold naturally. I texted Aisha one last time that evening. Good night. Keep growing. Keep trusting yourself. That's all we can do. She replied almost instantly. Good night. And thank you for everything. I smiled and set the phone down. Everything had been taken from me by betrayal, but everything worth keeping had returned. Self-respect, clarity, emotional strength, and the rare bond formed from shared pain. I reflected on all of it, the lies, the heartbreak, the confrontations, the quiet victories. I realized that life didn't hand us justice neatly packaged. We created it with patience, observation, and integrity. And in that reflection, I understood the true lesson of the heart. Trust wisely, act with honesty, forgive when necessary, and never sacrifice your values for anyone else. I leaned back in my chair, the night settling around me. The storms had passed, the chaos had calmed, and I was left with what mattered: growth, resilience, and a quiet, enduring peace. For the first time in a long time, I smiled without bitterness. I had survived. I had learned, and I was ready to move forward.